Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Let's Chat Live, a show where we do weekly live interviews to connect you to the voices behind the podcast that you want to listen to. I am happy to be your host. I am Bree, and today we have Let's Chat podcast's own Chris Revel.
Hello.
Hey, Revel.
Today we have the opportunity to sit down with Brad Jost, host of the Jurassic Park podcast, and Jay Jurassic, a contributor to the podcast doing Jay and Ted's Jurassic Adventures. Yes, I love that name. The Jurassic Park podcast was created in May of 2015. Fun fact, that's when Brad and I actually met in order to help build and showcase the Jurassic Park community. So let's bring on let's bring him on. Welcome, Brad.
Hey, what's
Brad.
going on?
Hey, welcome to the show. We are so happy to have you. It's been a long time coming since 2015.
Yeah, seriously. I listened back to the episode that you posted, kind of in like promotion of this live stream, and I'm cringing about myself. Like I look back on those moments in the early days, and I'm like, oh man, do people still listen to me? Like when I sounded like that.
And I think that was, I don't remember. It was, you were still within like the first 100 episodes. That was maybe like a year and a half-ish, and it's still new to but like, I think that too. I actually was too afraid to go back and listen to myself. I was like, I hope I got better.
I think we said I was like 5 or 8 episodes in. So it was like really early, like really early.
Little babies.
And now we just posted number 262, but that's like just the main episodes. Plus there's like, nearly 100 bonus episodes. So it's like out of control, like at this point.
Hey, it's Gian. Hey.
Giancarlo. He is from the Sci-Fi Remnant podcast.
What's up?
We love him.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Distracted.
Yeah. Well, so all right. I know you. Well, let's get it because I'm really curious though, because I know that you started the podcast in May of 2015. Go Bree with the research, but how do Brad and Jay, how do you know each other? Like, what's your how did Jay Jurassic? How did you get involved with this crazy guy?
Yeah, you answered that because I don't know. How did you like? I know I was actually looking at. Let me just do this before you say yours. But I was looking at my like spreadsheet of like all the contributors and like all the episodes, and I noticed you came in like later than I thought. It was like a year after we started, I think. So what's your story?
Basically, I remember it was I became a fan of the podcast, right? Mm-hmm. And I was at the time I was working at Target, and I used to listen to the podcast with other podcasts that I used to listen to, while I did my job, and I was posting stuff Jurassic wise on my page. I don't even think I was Jay Jurassic yet. I think like my name, just my regular name on the podcast. I mean on the Instagram, and then like. I think you had liked one of my collection pictures, and I was like, oh man, I love the podcast. Hopefully one day I could be on it. And then you were like, hey man, sure, why not?
Come on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have right here. It looks like the first one that we did was a special update, one of those bonus episodes that Hasbro lost the Jurassic World the toy license. So I brought Mr. Jay Jurassic on to talk about that with me.
Oh, I used to work down the street from Hasbro's corporate.
Oh yeah, nice.
They're right in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
That's awesome.
All the cool stuff is in Rhode Island. I swear.
No one ever says that, but yes.
Unless you live there.
Yeah, but my old neighbor used to work for Hasbro. And it was right before the Force Awakens had come out, and he was doing something with the toy line. And I remember like us harassing him all the time, trying to get details about the Force Awakens. And one day he like kind of not snapped, but like very sternly like looked at us. He's like, "Listen, if I even say the wrong thing, I am fired and in debt the rest of my life for my NDA. You have to stop." I was like, "Oh, okay." I guess they don't mess around at Hasbro with that stuff, with intellectual properties.
God, no.
That's funny because there wasn't like a lot of spoilers or anything in that initial toy line. There was like a lot of characters that never really did anything in the movie, like weren't even in the movie.
Like Kelly Marie Tran's character. Ew! I can't remember her name.
Rose Tico.
Rose, who I loved, and Finn should have done more, but that's besides the point. Well, I guess there's a little connection because Colin Trevorrow, Jurassic World, was supposed to do Star Wars, and then didn't, and maybe that worked out for him.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I think it did work out for him because he had a lot of like bad faith within the film community for a while. People just didn't really like his stuff, whether it was the Jurassic World stuff or the Book of Henry, which came out. I don't remember when that came out, but people hated that movie and just like trashed him. And yeah, he lost Star Wars, so people are still ragging on him. And then it turns out he maybe would have made a better movie. I mean, it seems like it. And at least it gave him the room to make Jurassic World 3. So, we're happy about that.
Jurassic World 3, that comes out soon.
It would have. It was this close to coming out soon, but now it got pushed a year to 2022.
They're not even gonna like wait. They're not gonna even put it on streaming. They're just like, we're gonna hold on forever.
Yeah, Universal wants it in theaters, so it's gonna get there in 2022.
I prefer to see it in theaters, to be honest. Like
for sure. Yeah, the whole experience. Like
right. I mean, that is absolutely no. So say someone wants to like check out the Jurassic Park podcast, but like me, like I would say I'm like one step above a fair weather fan of Jurassic Park fandom. Like I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But you guys are at a whole nother level, but you're not that level of fandom where you're like gatekeepers and you're mean about it. So what's a good starting point?
Oh, I don't know.
Background.
I know.
Are you fans of the show?
we like it a little bit. It's
oh my God.
I don't know. Like, what do you mean as far as getting into the fandom or the podcast?
Well, or like the podcast, like if someone's like, I love Jay, I love Brad, I really want to listen to it.
Well, because you guys do a lot of covers of like the movie, and then there's show, then there's rides, there's Universal, and then there's the Camp Cretaceous. So
the way that I think about our show is like, for instance, if you like toy collecting, if you like that kind of thing, Jay has a segment that is just looking at the nostalgia of the toy collecting and everything. So if you like that, you can listen to that. If you don't, then skip that episode. But that's kind of the way we look at it.
To listen to Jay.
I don't necessarily mean skip that, but like if you're not into those interests, there's always something else for you, whether it's an audio drama, toy collecting, like you were saying, theme park stuff. Like it literally is like book. Yeah. Now we get a book club. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, it took us like nearly 6 years to start a book club, but here we are. So we're going to be reading along finally with Jurassic Park. I've read it before. Don't get me wrong, but like,
are you going to like read live or just like read and everyone talks about it? Cause I could be down for that.
I know a few guys who have actually read it and put it like on YouTube, but like no, we're not doing that. We're just going to say read from this point to that point and then come back and we'll all talk about it,
Jay, can I ask you a toy question?
Yeah, sure.
Fellow toy collector fan. I have a very vivid memory. Oh, what's up, Caitlin? Oh,
yes, he does. They are both way cooler than we can ever be.
Thank you.
Right, it's true. Let's see. All right, so I had this very vivid memory. I don't know if this existed where you all are from in the country, but we used to have a department store called Ames, which is now no longer. And when the first line of Jurassic Park toys came out, I remember the advertising was like they would feel like how dinosaurs actually felt. And for a very long time, I had the toys and literally thought that's what dinosaurs felt like. And I guess how do we actually know that? But I like to this day, I would still think like. I don't like. I really thought I was touching a dinosaur. But do you have any memory of that marketing campaign by any chance? I bet you're the only person who will.
Definitely. It was the rubber that they had on them. Like I have her here.
Right here. This one.
Right there.
Oh my God! I'm so jealous.
Got $1 in her mouth.
Oh, what just came out of his mouth?
So
was it money?
Yeah, it was $1. Like so. The reason is like my grandma used to have like these little like elephants, and she used to wrap $1 around their trunk. So I don't have an elephant here, so I have Rexy. So I just put $1 in her mouth.
Except for like good luck.
So yeah,
Rexy.
they promoted the rubber skin feel, like it feels like real dinosaur skin. That's why a lot of the Kenner toys had that rubber feel on them, and that's why a lot of fans now keep asking that from Mattel. But it's not the same like how it was before, where the materials were cheaper back then. They're a lot more like costly now for these toys. So Mattel did that with a Mosasaurus, and it's fantastic. You can, put them in the water and everything, but not every toy can be done that way. And they've done really well. They'll put some rubber parts on some of the dinosaurs, but like this one's like basically all rubber. Like the feet are like hard plastic. There, see, Brad has the
Mosasaurus. Yeah, this is what he mentioned, the Mosasaurus. This is the new version of that, but it's a lot harder of a play. It is the real feel, but it's a lot harder than that Rex that he has.
But we did see the change with trying to put rubber on these dinosaurs with Jurassic Park 3. The animatronic Spinosaurus came with like this thin layer of rubber on it that basically, like, some of them have not survived to this point because that rubber just like disintegrated.
Oh no. Yeah. So you guys open your collections. You don't like keep them in boxes, or do you keep some of them in boxes?
Well, that one right there, most of my like 93 stuff, and I would say like 97, so Jurassic Park and Lost World, and even some Jurassic 3, I actually played with those items as a kid. So like I didn't really look into the future like, oh, these are going to be worth something. Which honestly, I don't really care about the worth of like all this collection. Just really for me, I know some of the worthless stuff, but I don't resell anything unless it's like something I just kind of want to get rid of, which is the Hasbro stuff. But
damn.
So
like right now, he's not happy.
So I had a lot of my collection is loose. A lot of the stuff in boxes now is stuff that I've gotten now as kind of an adult. I don't really, I don't really play with the toys. I just kind of like, well, yeah, sometimes I'll do.
Yes.
So guys, was in a blue.
So what are your we're gonna ask, like, what is your favorite dinosaur? Two top favorite dinosaurs. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Brad.
Oh, okay. Well, mine is my favorite one is actually right behind his head. It's that Brachiosaurus. Move your head over, dude.
Yeah, move
right there.
I can't even look at that without thinking of that scene in the movie for the first time when they cut to like.
And that's probably why, it's first off, it is like a really miraculous looking creature. The fact that it's so massive, so tall, that huge neck, giant tail. But the fact that you see it in that part in the movie, it's like the first time you actually get to see the full dinosaur, you are like kind of losing it with the characters in the movie. You're just as thrilled as they are. And it's something special for me. And I love that dinosaur. I love a lot of them, but that one to me, I've got two of those same toys right here, kind of on the other side of my computer, but it's awesome. What about you?
I thought you were going to say another dinosaur, but
oh man, which one? We gotta know.
I know Brad's favorite dinosaur is Brachiosaurus, but he has his favorite dinosaur that he likes to mock me with, the dinosaur.
No, well that's actually. I mean, I don't dislike it. Here, actually, here's a boxed one right here.
Oh, was that the new one that came out that you were talking about?
One? Oh my god!
Oh man, didn't you just do a live video, Jay, with the Spinosaurus? About how it was coming out. Oh wow!
This is beautiful. At some point in your life, you would be married with children and have this life. Be like,
no, not at all. I didn't. I don't know. For a while, you lose sight of like Jurassic. And I think a lot of us have gone through that. During our high school years, we kind of forgot about it, and now it's like come back full force, and now we've got these collections behind us. But
I love this so much.
Yeah, but no, that Spinosaurus, I like to tease you with that, but I actually do love that dinosaur. I think like it's really awesome, even though it's not how it's actually portrayed in real life. I still think it's pretty cool.
Very different. It's basically a big swan. That's what the Spinosaurus is.
Swans are mean.
Not the Jurassic Park one. The Jurassic Park one is it's just missing his Jason mask and like kitchen knife.
I'm in love with Dino Shade.
There's lots of memes if you follow our accounts when it comes to the Spinosaurus and stuff like that. So we're always trying to out meme each other.
I love this.
I know what you mean about that.
All the time. Brad will post something, and then he knows it's not too much long after that I post something right back, rebuttal. It's just back and forth. My favorite dinosaur is, of course, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I love the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Love the T-Rex since I was a little kid. And as like scientists just keep finding out more and more things about this, like the real life counterpart of this animal, not just the Jurassic Park one, but like the real life one. It's just the more information we're getting, it just shows how much of like a fantastic animal this thing was. It was at the end of the evolutionary ladder of tyrannosaurids. It was the top predator. Years ago, Jack Horner was going around with his like scavenger theories that it turns out just bunk. You know, it keeps changing, and the more information we keep getting, it's just I can't even emphasize how incredible that animal is. Like, they were saying the speed could reach 15, 20. Now they realize that it has some different muscle structure in the back legs that can make it run even faster than that.
Oh,
They found out that its skull, it has like when you look at the skull, it has like these lines that kind of fracture, and the reason it had that so it actually can bite with an even bigger bite force and not break its jaws. So
like
this thing was just built to destroy. It was just built to eat, kill. Fantastic, and you can put any other predator against it in the big like predator spectrum. You can put Giganotosaurus. You can put
Triceratops.
You can put Spinosaurus, and
it would win. And it would win. It would obviously win the Spinosaurus. Yeah.
It was just.
What about three Velociraptors? What would happen? Three Velociraptors and a T-Rex.
Real Velociraptors.
One named Blue.
Velociraptors.
Specifically the ones from Lost World, or I mean, Jurassic World. Blue and the gang.
Blue and the gang. Well, you know, yeah, it would give it a. Well, we seen Rexy take on the two other raptors in the first movie, and she took those down. You know, I mean, and that in the first movie we had a big one, and that one was like, honestly, this is a question for Brad. Do you think the big one was smarter than Blue, or do you think Blue's smarter?
No, I definitely think Blue's smarter. I feel like I've talked about this with a few other people too, and I think Blue was bred that way. You know, Blue was made to be smarter after, you know, multiple iterations trying to get the best one. The big one and those other raptors, they were just made. Like, nobody cared, I don't think, whether they were smarter or not. I don't think. But Blue, this is so dorky for everybody listening, I'm sure.
I'm so excited.
So happy.
You just wanted to like walk me into a trap.
Speaking the truth, please.
Go on.
I don't know which is dorkier, but I'm quite happy. Well, if it makes you feel better, I literally just read, like, I think it was last week, I spent like an hour when I was supposed to be working reading about the more updated theory of the meteorite hitting Earth and the extinction of the dinosaurs and evolution. You know, so
Nice.
I dig.
It's heavy stuff.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how you find. I want to hear more about Blue being
But Jay, let me ask you a question, Jay, because I know this is something that's like big conversation in the community. We were talking about the realism of the dinosaurs, right? How, like, you know, their features are actually different than real life. Does that bother you? Do you get mad about that when people talk about, hey, this is what a T-Rex looks like, or do you not care at all? Do you like how they're portrayed in the movies and in real life?
All right, so I think that. All right, I was actually talking about this with Dino Park memes. I just did an episode on the Lost World with him. It should be coming out like a week or two or something, right? We were talking about this, and honestly, the thing, I don't care. Like, it's a movie, you know?
Yeah.
The people that I feel that really care about that, it's not even the paleontologists, because I have a couple friends now with a podcast and an Instagram page that are paleontologists, and they're really cool, and a lot of them, like, actually are, like, give thanks to Jurassic Park for pushing them into that field. They're like, oh, if it wasn't for Jurassic Park, I wouldn't love dinosaurs so much, and then go into it. The thing is, it's the paleo artists, dude. Most of the paleo artists are pissed that there's no feathers and this and that. It's like, Like, dude,
Yeah.
if you want to draw, like what dinosaurs really look like what they really, really look like, who knows? Nobody knows because the information changes every week. Yo, we have T-Rex's lips, T-Rexes with no lips. We have Velociraptor's feathers, we have Velociraptors with a mohawk. Like, it just changes constantly. So,
so when you say you don't care, you do.
I don't care.
He wants that
what
mohawk.
The Jurassic Park dinosaurs look like. You know, because they just keep trashing the JP dinosaurs. I do care about, I guess, about like the constant opinions of like the scientific theories of what these dinosaurs look like. But when it comes to like the Jurassic Park dinosaurs, leave them alone. It's a movie. They were drawn by Crash back in the 90s. Back then, when we were watching that, Brad, and all of us, that's what we thought they looked like, Yeah. Now they're trying to implement that whole their hybrid theory because they don't really want to change the look for fans like ourselves, kind of, in a way,
That is such an interesting thing of like, if you're a filmmaker, like how do you keeping up with being true to the science, but also like, your generation of fans like myself, like if you, it has to look at least similar to the original movie or else I won't like it.
Exactly. Yeah. You kind of have an art style that they've described in the first movie. And if you stray too far, people are going to be like, what is this? This isn't Jurassic, And it happens from time to time, But I'm appreciative that they just do their own thing. And at some point, you just have to do that and be okay with it because there's going to be critics no matter what.
Absolutely.
I'd love to actually ask you all, like, what is your introduction to the movie? Like, do you have a memory of seeing it for the first time?
No, I don't.
Brad doesn't have one.
Oh man,
my life's always been in your life.
But
it's just this biggest thing that like I've been missing is that memory of seeing it for the first time, and I don't have that. But I do remember like my mom, reading the book on the front porch of our old house, and describing some of those dark scenes, with the velociraptors and stuff like that. So I remember that, and I had the toys after the movie, and I remember those toys and everything, but like I just don't remember that one moment of going to the theater, unfortunately. And I don't remember The Lost World, the second movie in 1997, going to see that for the first time. The only one I remember for the first time was Jurassic Park 3, and that's like my least favorite one.
Yeah, that one. That was fun.
I remember all those.
Do you remember seeing? Did you see it in theater? Do you remember? Do you have any memory, Jay, of the first one?
Oh yeah, I remember seeing Jurassic Park for the first time. I didn't get to see it in the movie theater. I saw it on the tiniest black and white TV. It was so okay. So my my cousins had a Super Nintendo, right? And my uncle and my aunt got them like this really, really bad like little black and white 10-inch TV to play Super Nintendo, and they had a VCR in there, and we would watch movies, but literally we were playing. It had no color. Like if it did, it was so faded, like you really couldn't see any of the color on the TV. And I saw a movie on a screen like this big.
So cool.
Like and I'm watching it, and I was just like amazed, and I was like, I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, I can't wait to see this on a bigger TV.
Makes a difference.
And I was, it was messed up too because I was mad that my cousin got the movie before me. I was a super fan, and my grandma she got him the movie because it was his birthday. Because the VHS came out October 22nd, 1994. I'm pretty sure it was 94.
Wow, is that old?
95.
Dang.
Yeah, it was it used to take like a year for a movie to come out. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
came
that.
out and my cousin's birthday I think was the 25th. So she got him the film for his birthday. And I got home, I was like, how come he got the movie? And then when I got home, my grandmother had the movie for me but they didn't want to give it to me on his birthday too. Then I got to see it on a bigger screen.
Good grandma. What a good grandma. Go grandma.
Oh yeah. Most of my collection is from like, I guess like from 2015 till now is all me, but from like all those other years, that's all her, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why I love his segment on our show, because like he has such like a rich memory of these moments and where he got things, who he was with, and like it's beautiful, and he weaves a story, and it's so nostalgic, and I love it. I love those moments. It's so much fun.
I mean, where else could you come up with the name Jay and Ted's Jurassic Adventures? I mean, so
right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us more about your segment though? Because I love those as well.
I like your newest one, even which we've only released one so far, but I like that one a lot too.
So I have the original segment that I started on the podcast was called Amber Finds, and it was just me talking about collectible items that are somewhat rare. Some can, and I kind of would say like where they can be found, and then from there it kind of just branched off where I was like, I want to do a collector segment where I would talk to another collector in the Jurassic Park community, and then that was hunters and gatherers, and like I would start the segment asking them, are you a hunter or are you a gatherer? So like, you know, hunters are like the guys you got to kind of fight to get to these items just appear off the shelf. Gatherers, you know, we pre-order them, we wait for them to come in the mail. But the hunters, you're out there, even with the pandemic, not and all, just going and looking for these items. You know, and it's been a cool segment because I've had some people from the community talk about their collections and why they got into collecting. Then Jay and Ted's Jurassic Adventure was me and Ted Brothers. We're well overdue for another episode. I know I've wanted to do one. Ted is really busy, so like, and we're trying to find a nice topic to come back in. And then I have the Do You Remember, which is actually we had to cut it down because it's such a long name. It's Do You Remember the First Time You Saw a Dinosaur? And it's basically, for this point in time right now, it's me talking to the contributors of the podcast and asking them why they love dinosaurs so much and what got them into the Jurassic Park community and realm. And the first episode was awesome because I got to ask Brad why he does what he does, why he's so crazy with this stuff. Why did he start a podcast? You know?
I don't know. I love that. That was a lot of fun, man. And I know like we have a bunch more to air, but that was a ton of fun just to kind of like dive into the origins. And Chris, I know you said like you remember that I think it was a commercial, right, for that store with the rubber toys and all that. I had something, and like you thought that's how they felt. Like I had a similar moment, which I think I described on that episode that he mentioned. It was like a book, and I was like, oh my God, that's what dinosaurs really looked like, because there was like these like model dinosaurs that I thought were real pictures of dinosaurs, and I was like, those are real. And I was like, I was 6 or 7 years old, and that's just what I thought they were. And that books were the thing that really brought me into the dinosaur lifestyle. That sounds really corny.
Hey, cat.
Get out of here.
Cat. But the other book that we talked about, Brad, the one with like the Allosaurus that looked like a person was like in it, like these drawings were horrible.
Yeah, the artwork for dinosaurs back in like the 70s, 80s, or whenever, it was just like it was so hilarious to look back on and think that's what we thought they looked like for the longest time.
That's amazing.
Tail dragging, weird faces, hands, like always had 3 fingers, even T-Rexes. It was weird. Yeah.
My 6-year-old loves you guys. He calls you guys the dino experts. He's like, hey mom, you got your dino expert friends? Like, and we get like little Legos, and he's like, hey, can you ask him what dinosaur this is? And like we argue, we're like, it's this one or it's this one. And so like you guys are like the tiebreakers because you're the experts. And he's a huge fan of you guys, like more than he is of me. So we go on Twitter sometimes. He's like, Mom, ask him this. Have they responded yet? I just posted it. No, they haven't responded yet.
Oh, man. You have a service where you can just charge for parents to text you and respond immediately.
Yeah, like I need to know because he's asking me.
I usually let him respond first because like I feel like I'm no dinosaur expert, but like what I've learned from the toys, like what is the name of this toy? Okay, now I know that dinosaur and this is what it looks like. So to me, this is what they look like, the toys or the movies. He tends to know like a lot more of the real details and can pinpoint a lot of those things. So that's why I leave a lot of the expertise of that kind of stuff up to him more so.
Nice.
Before you started your the show, Brad, were you aware of the fandom that is Jurassic Park? Like, yeah, do you remember Brad and Brie? I don't know if you remember. Do you remember Peter from
Peter Van
before?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would always say for him that Back to the Future was his Star Wars. And I was like, oh, all right. And then I remember like going to Comic-Con and realizing like there's all these different fandoms that like I just not aware of how large they were. So like, were you that aware of the Jurassic Park fandom? Like, I had no idea until like semi recently that it just expanded as far as it did.
Well, yeah. partially. And I'm sure he can attest as well. Like back in the day, there were like websites with forums and we would like go to these forums and just chat with each other, but like that was it. Like it was just like a collection of like a few people that you talked with. I don't know how many, but like that was the extent of the fandom. And then once Jurassic World, we knew that it was coming for like what was it, like 14 years. We had no idea what was going to happen. From Jurassic Park 3 until Jurassic World, we were all kind of like watching the news, like when are they going to make a new one? When are they going to make a new one? I felt alone during those times. Like I was the only fan out there. And then like Jurassic World comes around, I get on Twitter a lot more. I was on Twitter for a lot longer than that, but like you start interacting with a lot of people and you're like, oh wow, this is actually pretty big. And then Jurassic World comes out and I never expected how big it was going to be. Like those first two movies, Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, have been huge and unexpectedly huge. It's like, I can't believe it. Like $1 billion movies and it's just massive.
Yeah.
And people love it. And you just don't realize the fandom's out there, but they interact with us and they're really cool.
That is so amazing. So you guys have worked with a lot of companies over the years, from Mattel, DreamWorks, Universal, and more. Is there a specific experience or a story that stands out to you more than others?
I don't know. I love working with these companies. It's interesting. Like Universal is not necessarily the easiest company because like they know that what they've got. Like they're willing to just put their movies out and let them speak for themselves. But like companies like Mattel, Feld Entertainment, who did Jurassic World live tour, which was like a touring live show, that they were amazing to work with. They actually like flew me down to Florida to go like see the show for the first time. It's pretty amazing.
We got a lot of like podcasters out there listening, like myself. How can we get even more nitty gritty? How did you even get to work with the companies? First off, because we all heard Plane Ride. I was like, really? But like, how did you even manage your way going from podcast host to working with these huge companies? And I don't know. Notes offline as well.
I feel like there's like a bit of like the fact that they like to work with micro influencers. Like, we're not huge. We're a decent size, but like,
is that what we're called?
I think so. Wow. I think that's what would be considered.
He's like, I'm
like
micro influencers.
Micro influencers, and they really appreciate us or these people that can like kind of get their way into these niche markets and corners of the fandom and hit the right fan group. And sometimes they reach out to us, sometimes we reach out to them, and it works out. But like that same live tour company gave us some tickets for, which is actually pretty amazing now. They gave us some tickets for Brooklyn, right? It was Brooklyn, and I shot Jay a message. I'm like, hey man, you want to come out and go to the show? And that was 1 year ago yesterday. We were we were in a massive in Brooklyn. No, was it? Yeah, it was Brooklyn. Just in a massive theater with thousands of people surrounding us, and like, tons of people getting into the building. And then like weeks later, nothing's happened. Everything's shut down. And it was like, that was like a really good memory for us because like we hung out that whole night, just chatting in a comic book shop for a while about anything, and then we literally like went to Starbucks. That was so fun, just doing that together, and like riding the train, reenacting moments from some of the movies. So it was pretty fun. It was an amazing night, and that's something like I'll really cherish, because like hanging out with him and our other buddy Caleb was the last time I hung out with anybody. Like,
Oh yeah, because COVID,
Yeah.
So
I've had some interactions with some friends, but yeah, me and Brad were actually talking about it the other day. We're like, wow, that's really the last time we really got to really do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's so funny that it would be Jurassic Park was the last thing you did, like that, the through line of your life. It's special. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it is pretty special, and we're working our way back, so hopefully we can do some more fun stuff like that in the future.
I'm fully vaccinated. Just
that's right. I saw that. Yeah,
no
that's
big
awesome.
deal.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I also had to work in a hospital every day during all this, so it's a trade-off. But it's not about me. But yeah, I'm so interested. Like, first, like us micro influencers. I know Bree's gonna hate this, so this is gonna be forever.
Thanks,
like,
Brad.
Can you give us some like tips of like reaching out to companies? Like what? Just are you just sending like a nice little like pitch email or?
Yeah, a lot of times I'll just send like a pitch email, kind of outlining like maybe some of our stats and figures, what we're about, maybe include a few episodes or things that people can check out or articles on our website, and then just kind of like outline my plan and what we want to do. Maybe if we want to, and at least for us, it's kind of easy because a lot of people like to promote their stuff and they're willing to just say like, yeah, here's a producer for the new Netflix show, Camp Cretaceous. Talk with him. And it's like, okay, I'll talk. I mean, sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, take it.
And, if we get a chance to do stuff like that, because it's a good place for them to send this person to talk about their show. So they want to promote it, and most of the time for us, it's kind of easy. I don't know for other outlets, but like when we're promoting Jurassic stuff, there's not a lot of outlets to go to, so it's, it's kind of easier for us, I guess.
You got the longevity on your end, on your side as well, which becomes a huge value. It's like, as long as you just stick with it and don't quit and nobody listens, at some point you become valuable by being around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't care, listen or don't, I don't care. We've been going for so long at this point, but like, I do appreciate each and every person that takes 1 minute of their day, like to take a listen to us. And I know, sometimes we can be exhausting just talking about Jurassic. So it's like a thing that you either will be a huge fan of or don't care. So it's like, you kind of understand where you are and what kind of show you are. And I don't know, I think we found a really cool core group of people that listen every week, and it's awesome. We're continuing to grow.
Nice community of people too. Like, God, for years, even before I even had a YouTube channel, whenever I'd put my name into YouTube, my appearance or your appearance my name was on one, like, oh, when you guys came on, you had put it on YouTube, and you were like the first people to put podcast episodes on YouTube's. I remember getting so much feedback from like your community. Like, that was in 2015 back then. Like, and the Jurassic people are so nice.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a really sweet community, and I mean, that movie is just like, like every like generation, there's a movie that continues on to the next one. Like, I mean, I'll show Felicity Jurassic Park when she's old enough, like, but I'm probably not going to show her like, I don't know, Free Willy or something. I don't remember what else came out in that era, but like Jurassic Park, it's timeless. Did Henson do the puppets? Is that right?
No, that was Stan Winston Studios.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dinosaurs. It's dinosaurs. Those are as timeless as you can get. They're never going to go away. Nobody's ever going to like cancel a dinosaur. I don't think it's there's something that everybody's going to. Yeah, you never know. I guess I don't know.
Well, that Spinosaurus is really acting up recently. Their views on
they're actually, you joke, but like the new TV show Camp Cretaceous, which is like a DreamWorks animated TV show centered like right after the downfall of Jurassic World. There's a Stegosaurus on there that they apparently shed their plates, like those like spikes that go down a Stegosaurus back, and the entire fandom and paleontology community are like in uproar because they don't do that. That's not a thing they do. So
you look mad, Jay.
Kind of like what we were talking about before, whether you care or not about these changes. Like, that's one that I guess you could cancel a Stegosaur.
I saw that and I was like, yeah, they don't do that, and that's it. That's the only reaction I got off of that. I was just like, oh, they don't do that.
Oh my god!
And that's it.
I sat there.
I didn't go crazy.
I was like, do they do that? I don't know. And then I just kept watching.
Maybe they do.
Like, I don't know.
Whatever, They're hybrid.
Yeah, exactly.
We watched the Lego Jurassic Park on Netflix, and then we watched like anything with dinosaurs, even Gigantosaurus, and now we watched the Camp Cretaceous, and like I'm into it. I'm like, put another episode on. Like, are those the bad guys? Are they gonna die? Oh my god! I'm just like freaking out.
Yeah.
So it's not just it's for everyone.
It is for everyone. I think everybody can enjoy it, and I love how it kind of weaves its story into Jurassic World, the first film, and distances itself for the second season. But like, it's pretty widely accepted, and I've seen like so many people even outside the community just like rave about the show. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I heard it was. I think I was going to try to watch it Felicity, but I think someone told me it's a little more adult than she would be able to do.
I was like, did that guy just get eaten?
It's surprising how dark it can get, right? Like a lot of stuff's off camera, but
yeah, it just like your brain doing everything, but like it's there. It's like, what the hell are you watching?
The second season, there's like a particular scene that's like I did not expect him to go that route, and it was pretty dark. I was like, whoa, okay.
The ending scene with the tree.
What? Oh no! Inside the temple.
In the Europe, there's like some messed up stuff in there, and you're like,
when they go in the tent, it's man, I don't want to ruin it. So
don't spoil it, but like it's some pretty interesting.
But you guys
stuff.
get what I'm saying, or yeah.
I do.
But that was also
I do.
That was also a concern, like with the community, whether this was going to be too, like whether this show was going to be just for little kids, and that was something that people were in a little bit of an uproar. Oh, I don't know, it looks too kiddie type of show. Like they got the Lego one like mainly for kids. It's fun though. I have watched it. It's hilarious.
It's cute.
Malcolm, awesome. But like when it premiered and people saw it, they loved it. They were like, "Wow, okay, it caters to us too."
Yeah.
Either way, I was gonna watch it.
It's your job. You have to do it.
Yeah, basically.
So how many pieces do you have in your Jurassic Park collections?
Oh God.
Do you know, or you stop counting?
No idea. way too many. I mean, I couldn't even guess. Like, could you?
I'll give you just kind of all right, so you can see some stuff on the wall here, right? I have some shelves with a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna like fix up whenever I have the time, and I still have 8 big Sterilite containers full of stuff. So,
do you have a favorite piece?
Not only that, I have the full Target displays for Fallen Kingdom and for Jurassic World. So I have the 7-foot Indominus Rex wall statue thing.
Oh my God.
And I have the Rexy that actually roars. So when you once I get it all set up at some point, if you walk into the room where the stuff is, she's gonna roar right at you. And I have the Raptor Lego one that roars too. So either or, you walk to a corner, you walk to the other side, you hear them roaring at each other.
Your poor cat. He's probably like, what's going on?
He's the guardian of the collection. He's the protector. He does protect the collection. So it has.
Do you get a lot of adults asking to come over and play with your toys?
Before COVID.
Maybe after COVID, what if we were all in the same area? Just go play dinosaurs, no big deal.
It's surprisingly around me. I don't really know any actual fans within my friends that live around me. Like honestly,
are you two near? Do you guys live near each other?
We're in the same state,
New Jersey, right?
But but we're very far, like 2 hours probably from each other.
Yeah, I always say like the other Jurassic fan that I know is Brad in my state, and that's it. I don't know anybody else around here personally.
Do your friends know of your obsession?
My friends do. Yeah, they know.
Yeah,
awesome.
For a while, like I kind of did a lot of this in secret, like with the podcasting and everything. Yeah. I still don't really talk about it like to people I know. Like nobody cares. If I started talking about my podcast about Jurassic Park with some of my friends, they would just laugh in my face. And that's kind of just my friends. I don't know
that feeling.
Yeah, but like, when you start talking about with your and I know it's like online friends, but they're just as real as everybody else. Like
so much better than real friends.
Everybody
more at this point.
Yeah, more. Yeah, everybody gets it.
Bree more. I talked to him like.
Yeah, you're my work husband.
Exactly.
I talk to him more than anyone else.
Yeah,
seriously. Cool? I do tell my clients, like my tattoo. I tell my tattoo clients about that I'm a tribute on the podcast, and a couple of them listen now, dude. Like they actually.
Really?
You're a tattoo artist.
Yeah. So like I tell them about it and what we talk about, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I just went to Jurassic Park tattoos. So what's up?
Do you have any dinosaur tattoos?
I just have right now just this one.
I love that.
It's upside down.
Aww.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, cool. My brother-in-law, who's from Jersey, also a dinosaur Jurassic Park fanatic. I turned him on to your show as well, but he has the T-Rex on his right ankle.
Nice.
And it's BA.
I've got a dinosaur tattoo as well. It's a Triceratops.
Wait, do you not have any dinosaur tattoos, Brie?
I do. I have one.
I have a Calvin Hobbes tattoo, but that's not a dinosaur.
I don't have any. I just have a Zelda tattoo, but that's it.
That's pretty cool. I always loved what Bill Watterson did with the dinosaurs. I'm going to get a Calvin and Hobbes style T-Rex tattooed to me.
No.
Do it.
Cool. Actually, I said it as a joke. Now I really want that. That sounds really cool.
Right? We'll drive to New Jersey.
That's a great idea.
It's not that far of a drive. You can drive up to him. He's like up high. Yeah, up high in the States. So
my wife's from North Jersey. I've spent a lot of time in Jersey. I love New Jersey personally.
Yeah, I used to live there at McGuire Air Force Base in Trenton, I think. So
no way.
For like 4 years.
When I did drive to work, I would drive by it every day.
Oh my god!
My wife is from Bloomfield. I don't know if you know that area, like around Montclair.
My shop is in Little Falls, right next to Montclair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Road trip.
You ever go to Eastside Mags by chance?
Say it again.
It's a comic book store in Montclair, Eastside Mags. Jeff was on the show a long time ago. He's also like a punk rock dude. Great comic book shop in Montclair, everyone. He's awesome punk rock dude.
I don't. My neighbor would know it because he's like, he knows everything about comics and goes to all the comic book shops and works at one too. But no, I don't really know the area that well. I just kind of like work there.
Montclair is very, very like hoity-toity and nice.
Yeah, I get. Most of my clients are like Montclair students and stuff.
Oh, that's so funny. I won't turn this into a Sopranos podcast now. So you can have next question.
So talking about the technical side of your show, how do you guys do your recordings? And is someone responsible for most of the editing or social media? Is it all Brad?
It's pretty much all me. I mean,
the magician.
Yeah, I mean, I produce it all, and I do the social media and the YouTube and everything, but like I do leave the show open to everyone, and I say, hey, if you guys have an idea, if you have a segment that you want to produce, if you have an idea that you want to talk about, send in an email, let me know, we'll work together and do something. And that's kind of how people like J Jurassic and others, and my lists, I don't even know, there's like 15 or so contributors now at this point who all have something different to offer. So I leave it up to them. I'm like, hey, as long as you can record something, I don't really care like what it sounds like, the quality, as long as you keep it like family friendly, because we have a lot of families that listen to the show. Mm-hmm. And I leave it up to them to like produce the content. A lot of the content, I do my own stuff too. But yeah, as far as like the editing, I'm like, all right, send it all to me. I'll edit it. I've been going through like struggles recently where like my old computer, my old MacBook Pro is kind of dying. It's on its final days. I used to use Logic Pro in there when I got that back in like, God knows when. And that worked great for me forever, but now it's like dying and it's so slow. And it'll take me like hours upon hours to produce a show. So I do have a new MacBook or whatever this is, iMac. And I've been just good, like being kind of like simplified about it. And like, I'm just opening up GarageBand now. And I'm just like throwing everything in there. And I'm just like, oh, let me just use this for a little bit. And it works great. It works fine. Every now and then I'll try to use like, cause we have like the Adobe Cloud, software and stuff like that. So I'll try to like open up Audition and I'm like, okay, it's going to take a little bit of learning. I got to like dive into that at some point, but it looks pretty cool. But recording wise, I know a lot of people like struggle and ask me like, what do I use? I use a program called Audio Hijack to record everybody's audio. And it costs me a little bit of money, but like it'll pull like all your audio from like whatever I'm using to talk to you. So it would pull it from Google Chrome or whatever. And I really love that software. Anytime anybody asks about like editing and stuff like that, I always like promote that. It is a Mac only software, but Audio Hijack is awesome. Like download that, pay the money. It's so super intuitive and really cool to use. I love working with that program.
And your sound quality is excellent too. And you got that from
Thanks.
SoundJack or whatever you said it was called?
Yeah. It just pulls my audio straight in there, Audio Hijack. And I don't use Skype anymore. I used to use Skype a lot, in the early days, and the audio quality is just not very good. And then I moved over to Google Hangouts, and I was like, all right, this is interesting. Let me use this. And then all of a sudden they're like, nah, we're going to change and not do this anymore. So they're like, you're going to have to use Google Meet now. And I'm like, I started using Google Meet and I'm like, this is garbage. I don't know what's going on here. It doesn't work right. Like it changes the audio. Yeah, like what I'm supposed to be recording with. Every now and then it'll pick up these wireless headphones. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work. Don't do that. So podcasting is a never ending struggle. Like I don't, no matter how much you actually think you have it down, it's all a lie. You'll never get it right.
Like dinosaurs.
I feel sorry for like the early days where my audio was garbage and I used to send it to Brad and he had to fix it. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Brad. I used to just apologize like in paragraphs. I'm so sorry. And then finally I got a Blue Yeti microphone and my audio I think sounds better now. And I do use Audition before I send it to Brad. I try to like fix it up as best possible, nowadays. But back then, it was bad. I was so embarrassed to say stuff. I was like,
right now you're using headphones, not the mic, but
no, this is my at this moment right now I'm using my iPad. So you're not getting the real good audio because
not the real deal.
My computer decided to Dennis Nedry itself. So
of course, that's how it works.
Yeah,
right before the show. I'm like, oh, great.
Have you gotten to like interact with any of the like behind the scenes or the cast of the movies, of like any of the movies or the shows? And I think you mentioned one of the producers from one of the TV shows.
Yeah, that has happened very sparingly. Not really a lot. Every now and then, but
go after.
For a while I was like, all right, I got to try to track down some of these, high profile guests and stuff like that. And then, we were kind of talking about it before, like how do you do it and everything. And it just got to be too much to try to like work with these schedules and try to work things out. So most of the time I'm just like, let's just have a conversation with the community and my friends, and that's it. And if those people want to come on, sure, please do come on. But like, it is like kind of a hassle to try to like work out all these details and like a lot of times you have to like submit questions and like do a whole bunch of prep ahead of time. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any time for that. I'll leave that to other people if they want to do it. I don't have time for that. I got to edit this whole thing,
Right?
I love that you said that because I think podcasting, maybe it's true to anything, is like there's just there's a lot to do in a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just hosting. So I think you just got to find the thing that you really like about it and focus on that, especially starting out. Like if you're like, I don't know how not to quit, like just find, oh, look at that little Jurassic Park.
Sorry, he just jumped up my lap. Yeah,
because like you were talking so much about editing, and I'm like, I edit out of necessity, but I hate editing. So like that's the thing I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to hire someone else to do that. But like I love guest booking. It's like that's the part I just absolutely love doing. But I think it's so important. You got to find the thing that you do that really just drives you. Everyone's just different. Some people like the hosts, some people like the behind the scenes stuff more, some people like on the camera. It's
behind the scenes.
Well, that's the funny thing.
I hate cameras,
I love the editing. Like that's the part that I really am into. I love diving in and like looking at the audio forms and like cutting. Like sometimes I don't even need to listen to it. I just like I can like just cut it up and I know what exactly it's going to be like, and then that's my favorite part, like, is cutting in intros and making some fun, like, you know, fun segments and fun ideas. But yeah, I would never say, even before this show, I was like, I'm not a really big fan of talking to people. I'm like, I in person at least. Like, I'm not somebody to like go up and start a conversation, or if somebody talks to me, I'm like, I don't know what to say next.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry.
I never know what to say. I'm like, you want to talk about Jurassic Park, I guess? I don't know. Like, if you want to talk about that, I can talk, but like it's always so difficult. But this is like the editing is my thing that I love doing. But
jealous.
Let me ask you this, because I forget who it was. Who was it? Like Adam Devine or something had that quote recently about like how easy it is to like do a podcast. You just like do it and then you're done with it and that's it until the next one or whatever. And I know a lot of us looked at that and we're like, what are you talking about?
I actually felt bad for him because like, I think he's right compared to like making a television show. It's not a lot of work. And for Adam Devine, I think he was like kind of misquoted. Like I felt so bad. I was like, oh dude, he's not shitting on us by any means, you know, but yeah, I've never seen that. It does take a lot of work. I think if you're at that level, you get to walk into a booth, say whatever you feel like, and just walk out, and then someone else does all the work. Which like is my dream.
I know that's like his kind of privilege from being in that place is to be able to have a whole team of people to work with you and to do all the stuff that one person does on most shows, you know. So
and fame, you know, he's a famous movie star with money. And so like, I thought the report, I remember that happening. People like going nuts on Twitter. I'm like, guys, leave the guy alone. It was an accident.
Like, I don't think it was like a malicious thing.
Probably a lot more work than a podcast episode. Don't get me wrong.
Maybe, it is maybe. I don't know. Have you listened to our show? No, I'm kidding.
That's true. Unless it's like Serial or something like that. Then like the docu-series ones. Like, no, but I mean,
that's a lot.
I would average every episode, maybe 20 hours of like everything, just you know, every little detail with promoting it, editing, booking. God, how many emails have to go back and forth before you get a guest on or messages?
And I'm really bad at that. I'm so bad at responding.
Oh no.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, that's why I do that.
That's why I found a Brie.
Yeah. So what's the biggest you go.
I had a fake question. I was like, what do
fake question?
What do we need to do post COVID to get Jay to give Brad a dinosaur tattoo on like camera? Ooh. Is this a way to co-sponsor this? Like, I want.
Do we need like a GoFundMe to start, or
we do like a big charity event? Be like, you know, we'll donate money to like dinosaur causes.
I like that. I actually, you know, it's something we've talked about plenty. We just never made it happen.
Very
good. And like when I got my first one, I had ideas and I had plans for more, but I just never did. And talking with him, I'm like, all right, I got to do something. We got to, you know, plan something eventually. But maybe after all this is done, and I think the idea of like a video would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think that'd be awesome.
Definitely. You should be like, Brad will get a tattoo if we hit 1 million followers.
I'm down for that. That's a good plan. I like that plan. Can you make it happen? Because I don't think I can. That's a lot of followers.
That's a lot of work.
I think you were close.
No, definitely not. Don't look and try to think that I'm close.
Now I gotta look.
It's
No.
well on YouTube. Yeah, 12.3 thousand subscribers. That's
almost a million. Almost 1 million.
Almost, you know, if you're not good at math.
Yeah, but YouTube subscribers are the hardest ones to get. The hardest subscriptions.
It is really hard. Yeah.
Oh my God, 8,000 followers and only 229 following. We're one of them. Damn, Jurassic Park podcasts.
I don't know. I don't do anything special. Yeah, I don't do anything special. We've clinged on to a good franchise that, like we've said many times, and there's a lot of cool people, and they're willing to see what we want to talk about, I guess. So,
well, it's genuine, and especially because when we talked, I don't recall Jurassic World that wouldn't be a thing for how many years. So, like, you know, you were literally just doing this because like, I just love this stuff, and then thankfully the culture caught up.
Right.
Yeah.
Jurassic World.
Yeah, seriously, it's just like we like talking about this. It's easy. Some of us, you know, I'll do a segment sometimes for like, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours, and I'm like, is anybody going to listen to this? And yes, they do.
Yes, we do.
I don't get it, but
bravo. Some of those live streams you've done, I think I've jumped on like 2 of them before when you were on live. I was like, hey.
Yeah, you jumped on one of our we did a 7-hour live stream. I don't remember when that was. Not too long ago, like 2 months ago or so, but it was like a charity drive. So we were raising money for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and it was like a cause that like meant a lot to us and our family and stuff like that. So we're like, let's raise some money. We did a 7-hour live stream. We had like pre-recorded content and all kinds of stuff that I could like throw in and do all that. And then, you know, people like J Jurassic just popping on and like saying, hey, and it was awesome. It was really, really cool that people were donating all at the same time. And I loved it. I love doing stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Congratulations.
I don't remember what we talked about, but I know it was about that.
Definitely Jurassic Park, probably some toys, some other stuff. Who knows, you know?
Dominion news or something, you know?
Yeah, Dominion, Jurassic World Dominion.
Wow. Oh my God, too much fun. Wow. So last question, I promise. What's the biggest challenges you've faced in the podcasting world, like pre or post COVID?
Do you have any that pop in your mind?
Besides your computer not working?
Oh yeah, that has nothing to do with COVID. I don't know.
No, it has everything to do with it.
It's COVID right there.
It jumps from human to computers.
Honestly, when quarantine first started, like when the lockdown first started last year, I was just recording like a madman. Remember that? I was like recording all the time. Yeah. And then we did also the live watches of the watch parties of the movies. I think it actually, like, with being locked down, honestly, it kind of helped out the podcast in a way because we were able to have time. Then I started, working again, and it like limits my time, But I don't know. It helped a little bit.
I kind of went in with that mentality when we started quarantining and everything, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have so much time to do everything. And then that never happened. With my son being home, and then we added another kid in the meantime during the lockdown. Like, so I have zero time to do anything that I thought I was gonna do. But like those live streams that we did in the beginning, where we like watched all the films, that was so much fun. We one of our other co-hosts or contributors, Tom Fishenden, he like started this campaign, like hashtag Stay Safe, Stay Jurassic, where like we put up on our website like a big list of things that'll like keep you busy and keep you kind of sane during everything while you're kind of locked down. And, whether it was like just resources to, talk about the films or things to watch, things to listen to. And, one of those things was that we watched all the movies. We watched, there's like a side movie. There's all kinds of stuff that we watched. The Lego stuff. We watched, theme park attractions. It was so much fun doing that with everybody. But yeah, then that kind of died off for a little while. But
you did the live Camp Cretaceous watch.
Yeah. Oh, recently. That's right. Yeah, we did all those too, and watching through all of season 1, that was a lot of fun. Everybody's so nice in our like live streams and stuff like that. The fact that people will like turn on the movies or turn on like a 2-hour movie and watch that with me as I sit there by myself and just like
on your little iPad watching it.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
I love it.
We back in August we teamed up with this company. I'll give you some information more offline as well. But they're called See Alive, and we were able to do like a watch party. We did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with us and a bunch of like friends and fans. Yeah, it was our celebrated birthday, but we all had like a video so we could see and talk to each other while it played. Like they have the patent and whatnot, but super fun. But like you're saying, like we did that. I was like, oh my god, it is really fun watching a movie with people online. I mean, usually now like with some friends, we'll just like set up our laptops and hit play at the same time. But if you're trying to get like a group of people, I've been wanting to do one of those again for a while because I just had so much fun.
Yeah. I literally just say like, all right, let's just do it in 3, 2, 1, hit play, and we all just sit there. Sometimes it gets off, like the timing's not perfect with whatever DVD, or if you're watching on a VHS, maybe it's a little bit slower. I don't know, but it's been fun, trying to make content during quarantine. But like before that, I don't know, like just finding time and stuff like that. And sometimes I would edit until like 2 to 3 in the morning, and it would just take so long. The next day going to work, I'd be like,
I know.
And now I don't have to worry about that for the time being.
I know, so. But my job pays me. I always have this thought. I was like, I should probably put more effort into my job. The reason I have a house, but I'm way more passionate about this.
Yeah. I'll try to get everything done. Try to get it all done. But like, at least that Monday morning, since we upload our episodes on Mondays, I'm like, I don't feel as like terrible on Monday mornings anymore.
I remember that. This time they did a way to do everything last minute. I'm like, I could just edit and post it.
That's me.
I just need 6 hours. That'll be easy.
Seriously, like I'll wait till like 10 p.m. and I'm like, I wanted to watch a show. I wanted to eat dinner, eat some ice cream. I don't know. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I should record, and I guess I should like write my notes and do the outline for the website and do the editing. And then I'm like, oh man, it's 3 a.m.
It comes quickly.
Yeah.
No, but I'm always late with my stuff. Occasionally, that'll hit me up with a message. Hey, do you have that episode? Like, oh yeah, that's right. I gotta send that in. Yeah, I'll send it in.
Give me an hour.
Like always at last minute. I'm like, dude, there it is. It's it.
Yeah, I mean, I try to plan a schedule, but it barely ever goes according to plan. Just not for being late or anything like that, but just because like other priorities and stuff like that, or say we have to like put something else up, or somebody contacts us, needs a show. It's hard to keep the schedule going for the show. I don't know how you guys do, but you guys have tons of guests and stuff like that. We don't even bother doing that most of the time. So I don't know how you keep like an accurate schedule. You do.
Yeah, for every episode I've ever released pre-Brie, there's probably 10 that fell apart. That never. For every guest I got, there's probably 10 I dropped the ball on.
Oh
my god, no, not anymore. Wow, we really appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules already to be on Lunch Chat Live. It's been amazing.
I love seeing your toys.
Yeah,
me too.
Every time either of you would reach off screen, you'd come back with a new toy, and it brought me way too much joy I've ever had.
What you got there?
Okay.
Jay, what toy you got? Come on, Dre. Come on. This is I could do
this is a competition. Like, who's got the best one?
All right. You hold up.
Oh,
I got so many Baby Yodas around here. There's this
Lego
one.
Baby Yoda.
There's this one.
Oh,
it's not
Goku?
just Jurassic. It's behind me. I have Ghostbusters.
I got that one.
Zelda, Godzilla, Doctor Who.
Wait, are you Godzilla or a Kong guy?
I go back and forth. It's so hard to choose. I don't know.
Yeah. So
I like that Baby Yoda. That was nice.
That's adorable.
Maybe they'll do a Star Wars plan in Mandalorian.
Oh. Is that the talking?
I don't have any of like the actual like toys like the Kenner or Mattel toys. Those are the ones that are in the containers. But I got like all like pop figures out and like other collectibles. So I thought I'd bring this little guy here.
Little, he's adorable.
Are you guys ever gonna do like Comic-Con or anything? Like go to a Comic-Con? I mean, just have all your toys out and just do a podcast and just
don't touch that.
Oh yeah,
I'd be a lot
of we should do something like that, but it'd be cool. Like there's like I listen to a lot of these like podcasts like How Stuff Works. They have all these like different, and then they have like these podcast cons where they meet with like the fans.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I know we're not a huge podcast because we're micro.
There's that word again. Third time.
Funny.
But we are like I feel like if we did something like that, Brad, I think fans would come. I feel
absolutely.
like
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. And we can get like a paleontologist to be there, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
That would be nice.
I know we have to wrap it up, but before we go, you know who is a dinosaur fanatic that blew my mind? Slash. Yep. You do? I heard about Nerdist years ago, and I was like, what?
Surprising. Yeah, I had no clue either until recently. Yeah, it's
like, I just used my time in Guns N' Roses to travel the world to visit these museums. I'm like, I thought you were like doing party stuff, but he wasn't kidding. He's like, we put tours around going to these museums. I was like, oh, no wonder you traveled that for that long.
Yeah, seriously.
I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah, man.
It's an old episode of, I think it's now called ID10T, but it used to be called Nerdist. If you could find it, you obviously could find it. I recommend it because it was like, you could tell they were ready to talk about like Appetite for Destruction, and it just turned into Slash is like, nope. Let me tell you how much I love dinosaurs and fan out over paleontologists. And it's to me, it's one of my favorite podcast episodes because it's what I love about podcasts is like, just you get the real versus the right show. You get like the authentic person, you know, like I don't know. It was cool. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you'll be surprised with how many people are into dinosaurs. You know, it's always really surprising to me who knows something, you know, just saying the word like Pachycephalosaurus. I'm always like, wow, you know how to say that? That's a crazy one. That's like, yeah, like
I like that one.
Dinosaur names are hard to say, so you got to give everybody credit, you know.
Ultrasaurus. I think anyone who has small children you learn a lot about that. But I'm like, I don't think we're gonna leave this. I really like him.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having us on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Again, this is Let's Chat Podcast. This is Bree and Revel, and you can find more about our show on letschatpodcast.net. And where can listeners find you guys on the internet?
You can go first.
On Instagram and on Twitter, JJurassic, JAYE_JURASIK. So, and of course, you know, I'm on the contributor list on the Jurassic Park podcast on our website, so you can find me there.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have like a page. I'm actually reworking that page, by the way. So you'll see a new one pretty soon. But yeah, just go to JurassicParkPodcast.com. You can see it right there down below. I am at Brad Jost on Twitter as well. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can follow us. You can follow the website and see all of our links there. But we're all over the podcast places. You know where to find them.
Awesome. You guys are fantastic. We really appreciate you coming on, being micro influencers, doing audio hijacks and other.
We're macro influencers.
Oh, man.
They're macro. We're micro.
Yeah. You're the real deal.
Well together. But we hope
this
everyone
has been so cool.
has a great night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.